The Minnesota Vikings pull off a major surprise and ship Harrison Phillips, a defensive tackle that they just signed to an extension last offseason to the New York Football Jets. Harrison Phillips is a beloved member within the Vikings organization, one of the leaders, a community driven guy, signed him away from the Bills a few years ago, and really has made a home here in the great state of Minnesota and has established his footprint within the Vikings organization and fan base, not only as a good football player, but as a good man in the community. So it came as a surprise when the Vikings traded Harrison Phillips to the New York Football Jets for a couple of sixth-round picks, but not really, because what also was reported is that the Vikings are exploring the wide receiver market. And if you have been paying attention to this podcast, the podcast that I host, The Grind, has been very clear that the Vikings should not sit on their hands and wait to trade or sign a receiver. You've got time to do it right now. You don't want to go with 1 week left of the offseason. You got 1 week until Chicago, and then you trade for a guy, and then you try to get him reacclimated and comfortable in the system. In less than a week, you've got 2 to 3 weeks right now. Now is the time to trade for a player, bring him in, get him comfortable with McCarthy and the offensive playbook, get his family comfortable in Minnesota, potentially again. So this trade has bigger ramifications than just the Vikings trading Harrison Phillips. And what's also interesting about it is you take a look at what's on the Vikings roster right now. And what have we heard all offseason? Well, the depth that the Vikings have on the defensive line. Jonathan Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, Jalen Redmond, Levi Rodriguez, this Tyron Ingram Dawkins, Elijah Williams. It's all we've seen all offseason. And yes, Harrison Phillips served a good role for the Vikings while he was here. But let's be honest about Harrison Phillips. Harrison Phillips is not some must-have player within the Vikings locker room that you could never replace. The dude is 29 years old, maybe has 2 good seasons left, when the Vikings are filled with so much young and emerging talent. Harrison Phillips didn't need him anymore. And this is what Kwesi, the Vikings general manager, did a phenomenal job of in this situation. Phillips, because he's been a good leader within the Vikings locker room and is a good community guy, he could have got up in his feelings and kept him on the team because he's a good glue guy. But what he decided to do was, let's get a couple of draft picks that we can use to trade for a receiver, and then let's get rid of him so that we don't have to cut one of these up-and-coming guys that has showcased and showed out during NFL preseason action. So this was the right trade, 100%, without a doubt. Get rid of Harrison Phillips. Good guy, good community guy. You can replace him. And yes, he was a good run-stopping player. But in all honesty, how much playing time was Harrison Phillips going to get this season? Maybe on first down, but he is not a 3-down defensive tackle, especially because of all the defensive linemen the Vikings have on the roster. I mean, go through the list. Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, Jalen Redmond, Elijah Williams, Levi Rodriguez, all of these players, there's not enough room for all of them. So the Vikings decided, hey, Harrison Phillips, you've been good to us. We appreciate it, but we've got bigger things to tackle right now, because right now, Tim Jones or Thayer Thomas is wide receiver 2. And that's a big issue. So let's get rid of Harrison Phillips, get some trade capital that we can use to bring in that next guy. And that's where this conversation goes next. Because all reports are indicating that the Vikings are doing their due diligence on former wide receiver, Detroit Lakes native, Mankato State superstar, Adam Thielen. Tom Pelissero was the first to report that Adam Thielen is being very much considered as one of the Vikings' possible wide receivers that they are targeting. The Purple Persuasion sent this out. Our good friend Tom Pelissero, Minnesota native, notes the Vikings have been working the phones for a receiver and also links Adam Thielen to the Vikings. Thielen, 34 years old, maybe has 2 seasons left, could be a valuable player for the Vikings. He's been here through 90% of his career, and he could add a huge dimension to the Vikings offense that doesn't have wide receiver 2, that doesn't have wide receiver 3 for who knows how long. So the fact that Tom Pelissero is reporting this makes it very, very interesting, because Tom Pelissero is one of the most legitimate reporters in the NFL. Not only that, but then you consider what's happened these last few days. Kevin O'Connell appears on Up and Adams, K. Adams show. And here's what Kevin O'Connell said. Here's a picture of Kevin O'Connell smiling ear to ear after K. Adams presses him on an Adam Thielen question. And then what's so crazy about this is Kevin O'Connell has the audacity to say, this SOB has the audacity to say, I've never even thought about Adam Thielen in a Vikings uniform before. What the flippin' hell is up Kevin O'Connell's ass? Because he has certainly thought of Adam Thielen being in a Vikings uniform before. This wasn't some emerging problem that came out of nowhere, and he's never thought of it before. Kevin O'Connell has known, or at least had the conversation, treaded the tires, and Tom Pelissero is reporting it, that the Vikings have shown interest in Adam Thielen. It's so stupid. Oh, yeah, we've never even thought about it. We've never even considered. Are you freaking kidding me? This is so stupid. You have certainly thought about it. Your team is in desperate need of a wide receiver, and you've never thought about it? That's so stupid. And then, yeah, so I shared that photo with you. I'm going to share another one with you. Take a look at this picture of Kevin O'Connell. The same one, just zoomed in. That's a man that thought of Adam Thielen in a Vikings uniform. That's a man that has considered bringing back Minnesota's own Adam Thielen in a Vikings uniform. It's so funny. Oh, I've never thought about it. Never considered it. Oh, what are you? K. Adams was not the first one to bring this idea to you. And if it was, that's stupid. If K. Adams was the first one to bring up this idea, and you're a decision maker within a top organization in the NFL that has Super Bowl aspirations, maybe Kay Adams should be within the Vikings organization, because you have certainly thought of it. And he's trying to play dumb, never thought about it. Oh, first I've heard of it. Why are you kidding me? Your job is to fill up a 53-man roster with the best players available. And right now, your wide receiver 2 is out, your wide receiver 3 is out, and really, there are hardly any options after that. You have certainly thought about Adam Thielen being the Minnesota Vikings wide receiver 2 moving forward until Jordan Addison returns. And then we're not done, because one of my favorite things is to take a look at not only what coaches say or general managers say, whatever the case may be. My favorite thing is to follow family members within the Instagram community and social media community, because Adam Thielen's from Minnesota. His wife is from Minnesota. Boom! Vikings fan page. Adam Thielen's wife liked my reel about Kevin O'Connell and Kay Adams. Vikings fan page posted a reel about Adam, the conversation we're discussing, Kevin O'Connell and Kay Adams, and boom! Adam Thielen's wife likes the same thing. There's interest there from the Thielen. I mean, let's be real here. Do you think Adam Thielen has interest in playing for a team like the Panthers that hopefully takes another step in their rebuild and hopefully Bryce Young builds off of what they did last year? Or do you think that he wants to play for a contending Minnesota Vikings team that has Super Bowl aspirations and go back to where you're from and have the whole coming home party? It's an easy answer. And Adam Thielen's wife is liking reels, sending out feels, sending out things that are getting the Minnesota Vikings fan base pumped. And it almost adds a little, it doesn't, it's adding fuel to the fire. The house is burning down with Adam Thielen reports. This is happening. Adam Thielen wants to be in Minnesota. Woo! What a situation that is unfolding within the Vikings organization, because Harrison Phillips gets traded, but there's more to the trade. And the Vikings, they need to do something. But probably while I'm recording this podcast, the Vikings have traded for Adam Thielen. Let me see. Nothing yet. Okay, they have not traded for Adam Thielen yet, but it is a conversation that is ongoing. And Adam Thielen isn't the only receiver that the Vikings are kicking their tires on. There are others that are being considered. So we got to think about that for a moment. But Adam Thielen, it's not like you're getting prime Adam Thielen, but at the end of the season last year, Adam Thielen did show some skills at the end of the year when he finally had a competent quarterback throwing him the football, because Bryce Young caught fire at the end of the year. And Adam Thielen was a player that was able to really find his stride at the end of the season, because one of their quarterbacks finally found their stride. So you pull up Adam Thielen's stats in the final 3 games of the season last year. And versus Atlanta, 5 catches, 44 yards, no touchdowns. Versus Tampa Bay, 5 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Versus Arizona, 5 catches, 43 yards. Those are very capable wide receiver statistics for a guy that was a top. And you come to Minnesota and you're not going to be asked to be wide receiver 1 because Jefferson's on the team. You're not even going to be asked to be option 2 because Hawkinson's on the team. But you will be asked to make some big third down conversions. And if you've been following the Vikings at all over the last few years, the truth is McCarthy has been throwing to Adam Thielen these last few off seasons. The dudes get together all off season and throw the football with one another during breaks of mandatory practices. So there's already a relationship formed between quarterback and wide receiver. It's not like Adam Thielen is coming to the Vikings and it's like, oh, who's your QB? Who's this guy? No, they've thrown to each other all the time. So it's something that makes 100% sense from every single party involved. Ship some picks to the Panthers for a 34-year-old receiver that they don't need anymore. Adam Thielen, you are a Minnesota Viking. Woo! Check out 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis for all your bathroom needs. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis remodeled our bathroom in 48 hours. From new flooring, new bathtub, new shower surround. We had mold and they got rid of that thing in 48 hours and we got our bathroom back. New countertops, vanity, sinks, mirror, all of the above. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis did it all for us. Check them out today. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. And then check out Hokeland Farms Beef. They sell rotationally grazed 100% grass-fed beef. Their grass-fed beef is amazing. It is sensational. It is healthy. It is financially responsible. You go to Hokeland Farms Beef, you get about $4 a pound, not just for hamburger beef, but for steaks and chuck roasts and amazing things and food like that. But you go to the store, it's like $9 to $10 a pound. Hokeland Farms Beef, 952-491-1541. Tell Jared Tim sent you, and they'll give you a discount on your first order. Hokeland Farms Beef, 952-491-1541. This was The Grind. Everyone, I hope you have a wonderful day.